I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout, and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name.
And we're supposed to know this how. We're supposed to care why.
With the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was born, so neurotic and chaotic.
What? I mean,
it's true, exactly.
Life's gonna eat 'em, make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim.
If that's what you want, I don't know about all that necrophilia shit, but hey.
I mean, I'm the last person to work. Hey, you can talk. I probably talk more shit about my mom, so
Right.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The Value of Wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, man, shout out to Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We gonna shut the shit down. Love and respect, all right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother.
Fine, and Miguel says that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a rush. Oh, yeah. You got to snap into it. We're going to snap into this Raw post-show breakdown. We're going to go over everything on Raw. We already have the party started, already getting going. We have people already voting in the votes. And, of course, we have people in the chitty chatting. And Mr. Z finally shows up. I guess you need to get, well, this looks like it has been fun. Yes. You probably need to go back and start from the beginning, Mr. Z, so you can get all caught up. Spicy chat tonight. I don't know if it's spicy today. Nowadays, does that mean something a little different? It's a hot chat, but I don't know if it's a spicy chat. I mean, I guess you have to define spicy these days, right? I guess it could be spicy.
That's fair. It is what it is.
I can't wait to see what Mr. Z has to say about all of this coming down. Because, yeah, he was definitely talked about. Your ears should have been ringing, my good friend. Because, yeah, you were a hot button topic. Your buddy, your fella, what's going on? Oh, okay, now I'm gonna tell you. You can talk crap about me. You can talk crap about Mr. Z. You can talk crap about Mr. Clarke all day. You can go. But you need to be real careful where you go with the rest of our fan base, especially one of our original fans. So, I mean, you know, swim and tread carefully. Of course, I'm sure she'd probably beat you in the ground if she wanted to. So, I would go. Mr. Z. What do we see? Welcome to the Raw show. It's going to be a hot one. If the chat's any inclination of anything, it's definitely party time. Anyways, Raw opens up with all the fallout from SummerSlam. Who was winning? We go to the middle of the ring with Ludwig Kaiser making his return, standing in the middle of the ring. And he's announcing in the new World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General Gunther. Gunther comes out all suited up, gives Kaiser a big hug and appreciation. He holds his title up high for the pyro pick and the mic, and grabs the mic. He introduces himself. Of course, Pat McAfee said that he heard that Gunther and his family paid for all the fireworks for that shot, for that moment. So, there you go. Anyways, he's here. He says if we think his IC reign was historic, wait until you see what he does with this title. In this ring, he is above everyone. He is prepared for everyone and everything. Nothing can catch him off guard. He is greatness personified from this day forth, Monday Night Raw, and the legacy of his business and sport and title belong to him. And then we hear voices in my head. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, making the jump from SmackDown to Raw, or if he's a free agent, I forget what he qualifies as. We got Randy Orton, who seems to disagree. He comes out. Cole blows up. Oh, yeah, Cole definitely went off tonight with Randy Orton showing up. Gunther admits that he's wrong because he was caught off guard with the appearance of Randy Orton tonight. Orton says he wanted to come out and congratulate Gunther, but it's not really his style. The title looks mighty fine hanging over his shoulder. He's a good-looking champion, but he can't help that. When he looks at the title, he realizes that Orton is the only reason Gunther is holding the title in the first place. Gunther beat Orton at King of the Ring, but did he really? We all know it. Even Triple H knows. Sitting in the back, his shoulders were not flat on the mat. It's the referee's decision. He gets it. He's been here long enough, but Triple H saw the footage, and Triple H knows there needs to be a Gunther versus Orton sequel. He told the world that there would be one. That's why he's here tonight. He is calling that in. He's the only man that can match Gunther, smooth versus smoother. In fact, he thinks these fans deserve a modern-day Flair versus Steamboat. He knows he can be one, but can Gunther be the other? He's a living legend, and that's fine. Orton has made a career out of killing legends. At Bash in Berlin, he'll do it again. He'll walk out of Gunther's home country, the new world champion. Gunther says everything Orton says is true, and not beating him clean left a bit of a stain on his record. So if those voices in Orton's heads are telling him that he can beat Gunther, he's got to let Orton know that the voices are wrong. Randy Orton and he accepts. Gunther pulls him in and says nothing catches him off guard. Orton says he's heard that before. It doesn't need to be out of nowhere this time. He wants Gunther to see it coming. And so we got set up for Bash in Berlin. Crazy cat trying to come in the hard way. I know. Set up for Bash in Berlin. We wondered what they were going to do for Bash in Berlin, who they were going to give to Gunther for his first title defense, and we're getting Randy Orton, so I don't think I can be mad about that. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this?
I was totally expecting a rematch from SummerSlam, and we're getting something completely different, so I'm definitely not mad about that. I mean, down the line, I'm sure Damian Priest will get a rematch. But obviously, as we saw from this show, where his story's going.
I was hoping we weren't getting a rematch. I was hoping we'd go in the direction we went tonight, because I really didn't want to see the rematch at Bash Berlin. It just didn't feel like it's the right moment. And I'm happy that we found somebody like a Randy Orton, because I wouldn't even thought about Randy Orton. I was trying to figure out, who do you put in that place? Right. If you don't do a rematch, who can you? And Orton coming out tonight, I was like, that is the right person, because in Berlin, Randy's going to be hot and over. And in Berlin, he's going to make Gunther look like $1 million bucks. Oh, yeah. He is definitely going to make Gunther look like a star there, and it's going to be something worth watching. It's going to be something fun. Yeah. Well, we all knew. We talked about that a while ago, and it's just other things had gone on forever. But here we are, and it's good to see that we're going to get this rematch, and it's the right place, I think, to do it the right time. Everything is perfect.
Just thanks to the King of the Ring, there's a backing story. That part's great also.
Yeah, no, it is very, very true. Anyways, From there, we are backstage with Sheamus with Jackie Redmond, who says that Kaiser blames Sheamus for his injury, and he'll face him tonight. Sheamus says he's had his sights set on Pete Dunne. But what you going to do? All these young up-and-coming Thundercats want to make a name for themselves. He says, bring them on. He'll fight them all. He's going to test Kaiser's rib and then handle Pete Dunne. So our opening match was Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser, which was a good, solid match with these two could bring it. It was definitely a good, a banger type of match. This match went 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Was a solid match. Kaiser grabs Sheamus by the head and sets up, but a knee from Sheamus, then broke it. 1, 2, 3 cover. 11-minute, 20-second match. This was great. Both these guys looking great. Sheamus bringing banger after banger after banger. You can't complain here. Ludwig Kaiser getting a time to shine. And so now we got to see what it does. Of course, Kaiser losing kind of, it's indifferent. But Sheamus getting a big win here. I can't wait to see Sheamus and Pete Dunne tied up. You want to talk about a banger of the century. That might just be the banger of the century or this year for sure.
That also, I think, was the bigger story at this point, because towards the end of the match, Pete Dunne tried to hit him with the shillelagh again.
Yes.
Missing. But, oh well. That's just continuing that story, that feud. And then tomorrow, Pete Dunne takes on Trick Williams. So we'll get to see Pete Dunne in action tomorrow night.
That didn't hurt Ludwig, but it didn't really help him moving forward.
That's true, but it's more about Gunther anyways at this point. They're kind of showing Ludwig a little bit here and there. I love the aggression in the matches that he has. I love that he's really picked that up.
Yeah.
So even though he's not the main focus at the moment, they still are working with him. They're still working on him, if you will, in his presentation.
We get the announcement that it's been, 11 years ago that the Wyatt family first debuted, and we get the connection to the Wyatt family to the Wyatt Six in a beautiful video package. And we get to Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, we are here. You what?
Lord.
Hey, meat boy, below this, tell your sister. Okay. I don't even know. What are we getting into tonight? How did we get here all of a sudden? Okay, is there any normal fans out here who have something to say?
Now we're here to talk about wrestling, not whatever your fantasies are.
Anywho, we're going to move along. Trolls will be trolls. Damian Priest is here, and he is pissed. Damian Priest looking good coming out here. He yells for Finn Balor to come out and take his beating like a man. He calls him a coward and a pedeo. Finn knows where he is from, knows his story, knows he's been on his own most of his life until he found the Judgment Day. They made him feel like he belonged. Then last Friday at the premiere of his documentary, he realized his family got a whole lot bigger. He wants to introduce Finn to his new family. He's not upset because he lost the title. He can win that back. No, he is pissed because Finn took that title from all of us. Finn makes Priest feel like he disappointed his family, and he can't stand that. Finn listens closely when he is suffering. Know that he is the reason for this pain. So get out here and let the beating begin. And the chat is going wild. My mama's dead. Dead mama's, hey mom is far from much. Hey, my mom is far too much for you, little boy. Are we going back to 99? Are we going to do, hey mama, your mama's so fat, when she sat around the house, she sat around the house? Is that what we're shooting for now? Your mama was so poor that she went to McDonald's and asked to put a glass of water on layaway. Is that what we're going for now? I mean, is this the general direction we're going to take this old school nugget, You were so small and skinny.
Let me just quote Mariah Carey real quick. Why are you so obsessed with me? That's all we want to know. But that's in the comments. That has nothing to do with what we're trying to talk about here.
Hey, trolls will be trolls. It's fun. It's entertainment. I mean, I think Mr. Z gets the most fun out of it over there. So I don't know.
You do realize Mr. Z is kind of like our Sheamus when it comes to Twitter, when it comes to the comments.
Banger after banger after banger until he gets blocked. Anyways, Finn Balor shows up on the screen and tells Damian Big Man that he brought this up all upon himself. Thank you, Kayla, for bringing it back around. So, wrestling tonight was good. Overall, yes, it was a pretty good damn show. Finn Balor was on the screen, and he said to Damian that he brought it up on himself. You can't see her. I've had this conversation with her that she can't be seen, so she's John Cena. You can't see her. So I don't know how you can see her.
Joan Cena.
There you go, John Cena. He didn't betray Priest. Priest betrayed the Judgment Day. They were supposed to be no leaders. That all changed when Priest became champion. He went back on his word a year ago. Finn almost became champion, and Priest screwed him over for that. Told Finn it's time to man up afterwards, so he waited. He waited a whole year, and he manned up. He screwed Priest and his family. He's from the streets. Well, now he's just a loser from the streets. He won't fight Priest, but someone will who has earned it and deserves it, and that is JD will. Finn is going to wait. He'll wait till Priest feels safe and comfortable. He's almost forgotten about Finn, and he's going to turn his back, and then he's going to stab him in the back again and again and again, and it won't just be him. And we zoom out, and Carlito, JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan are standing behind Finn Balor. As we call this the last two nights, the new Judgment Day has made its presence, and I'm happy about it. I think this is perfect. I'm glad to see that they're doing this. Finn Balor is going to head Judgment Day now with JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Carlito. This was a perfect way to switch this. Judgment Day lives on, just in a different variation. Yes, we know that you're watching silently in the background. It's all good. I thought this was a great promo for Finn. I thought this was a great way to show that Judgment Day isn't dead. We've just realigned the pieces in Judgment Day. Damian Priest looked like a star tonight. His stock has risen after SummerSlam. His match with Gunther brought him up to the level that we've been begging for him to really get to, and he was solidified. He may not be the champion, but I think he's made a star, and his presence tonight, his interaction, his vibe, I don't know. This may be a guy that's a better babyface in some ways than a heel. I don't know, but tonight I felt like we've got a real Damian Priest that's fired up, ready to do something. I felt the intensity. I felt the emotions. I'm like, this is the best I've seen Damian Priest. He was really good in NXT, but we hadn't seen him really shine like this with his time in Judgment Day. Now, after his match with Gunther, and tonight, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for what we're going to see in the future with Damian Priest. I don't know how that match is going to work out. I don't know what to add to
that. It would work out with Ripley and Damian going over.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you could do that. That's, anyways. He was a babyface in NXT, Mr. Z. He was good. I just don't know. I mean, with Judgment Day, he's been good, a good piece, a good part of the storyline. But after his match with Gunther and after tonight, I just feel like he's elevated himself. Like, there's something that's finally there that I can be like, I like this. I want to get behind this. Judgment Day, he was good, but I just never felt like it was what we're seeing right now.
I would say when he first came up to the main roster, he was also good. But like you said, as far as getting to that next level, I agree with you completely.
No, tonight he showed up and shined out. His promo work was good. It felt, you could feel it. And I guess when you draw from more of a realistic place in that story, you have more to bite onto, and it was just good. And Finn Balor looked amazing in this promo package. And then when he had the rest of Judgment Day standing behind him, kind of solidifying his new role in the leadership of Judgment Day, even though there's no leaders in Judgment Day, I think we know where Finn Balor sits on that hierarchy. As long as he doesn't start coming out and talking about dead daddies, I think we'll be okay.
Oh, Lord.
Pierce is speaking backstage, and here comes Bronson Reed, who's mad that Sheamus had a match tonight after he beat Sheamus last week. Pierce tries to give an excuse, but Reed isn't having it. He sees now if he wants to get to the top, he's got to create his own path. And that was a major foreshadowing that we didn't see coming. But damn. And somebody put out on Twitter that Triple H in 30 minutes tonight made the big men feel the most important ever, more than Tony Khan has done in 5 years. Pointing out the fact that Tony Khan made some of the biggest guys.
It's true.
So, Anyways, we had a one-on-one match tonight. I was shocked. Shayna Baszler went one-on-one with Lyra Valkyria. I was so happy to see Lyra Valkyria by herself, because by herself, she's great. When she's with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, she loses. What makes her unique? I don't know why, but it's just like, when she's with them, it's just like, when she comes... Go ahead.
Well, considering they're kind of generic, they're supposed to be like these rave party girls, and it's just like, it's a generic gimmick.
Yes.
So seeing that little bit of dancing, whatever, it's like, no. Valkyria, like you said, by herself, she's great.
You know, she looks like $1 million, and she comes out as a badass, and they're selling that she falls as the Irish war goddess, Morgan, who's, you know, represented by the Raven. That's why she comes out and all these things. Makes me even do a throwback to Sons of Anarchy and why the Raven was so important to Sons of Anarchy. But anywho, I digress. But when Lyra Valkyria comes out by herself and they're selling this story, and you just feel like she's a badass, like she has credibility. But then when they bring her out with Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, it's just like, you're like, oh. It feels like she just got flushed down the toilet. It's just like, it takes all the steam out of it. You see her tonight, you're like, ooh, I'm excited. One-on-one. And she came out and had a decent match with Shayna Baszler. It was less than 3 minutes. Shayna drops behind. Lyra rolls through Insiguri to Shayna. Fireman's into a Nightwing cover. 1-2 kick out Sonya and Zoe in to break up the pin. And we get a DQ, which is unfortunate. But luckily, it seems like they're moving away from Lyra Valkyrie being a part of this, because out came Damage Control, which is still confusing me, because I don't know how to swallow Damage Control as baby faces yet. But we got Damage Control out here to even out things. Your thoughts, sir. Go ahead.
Instead of looking at them in traditional faces versus heels, think of it like two gangs who just want, who want to say, this is my turf. That's all it really is. It's two gangs who are saying, this is my turf, this is my division, this is my whatever.
Yeah, but there is a strong crowd behind Damage Control now. You can feel that they're growing that babyface-esque.
For sure.
It's being pushed. It's very, very mild, but it's coming around, and the fans are getting behind. I think it's great. I don't know. It's still hard for me to swallow, because I don't know. It's like such a switch all of a sudden. But I mean, I get what you're saying. It's a battle of the grounds, but it's I don't know if I'm ready to swallow. I mean, I love Io Sky, Kairi Sane. I enjoy Dakota Kai. I wish they would do a little more with making Dakota Kai feel a little more important in the women's division. But it's like they did all these things. Then Bayley, they turned on Bayley, and now they're going baby. It's really a confusing scenario. Anyway, talking about one trio to another stable, Final Testament gets a video promo playing The Clock has struck midnight, and tonight the Authors of Pain will put an end to the New Day. The New Day have been pillars in the business, but all good things must come to an end. How tragic. The real tragedy is that it didn't have to be this way for Woods. Kofi carved his path, became the man. Woods has been too afraid to become its own man. History will remember. Woods will be just a man standing next to the man. And not the man Becky Lynch, but the man Kofi Kingston. So sad. It didn't have to be this way. He gave Woods the opportunity after opportunity, certainly more than he has been given. But Woods chose his fate tonight. He will witness the death of the New Day. Any thoughts there? It was a good little promo package.
It was cool. I still don't really know what they're really doing with the Final Testament, though. Like, I mean, yeah, we got this kind of feud with New Day, but...
Well, we haven't even gotten to the match. It changes all directions, too, when we get to the match. I mean, it was very interesting.
Right.
And it is a very interesting scenario with what's going on there. Keep up with. Anyways, we saw CM Punk walking solemnly through the backstage area. Backstage, we see Maxine tries to talk to Ivy Nile, but here comes Chad Gable to stop that. Says he doesn't need Maxine and she can keep Otis and Akira. Tozawa too, and keep the name the Alpha Academy too, because he doesn't need them. So a lot of foreshadowing in that moment too, going into the future. Punk is smiling as he comes out to the ring, very happy to be here. Okay, so good. All right. Punk is smiling. He bets we're wondering why he is happy. He congratulates his, a new UFC champion. He hasn't been to Baltimore in 10 years, so it makes him happy to hear 10,000 people chanting his name. He says SummerSlam was not a guarantee. He imagines we love him due to his get back up attitude. Some people in this company hate him because he doesn't stay down. He says this wasn't guaranteed because he got injured just as he came back. He was told 9 months. He is happy and proud because he did it in 5. There's a big man walking around here, and he hurt Punk, and that happens. But he gloated and prayed about it, put his name on a shirt, told lies about him to make him feel better about himself. Why is he happy? Because he is back. SummerSlam was the start, and his road to Mania started Saturday. He started at the bottom before. Where would he be if it wasn't for the fans? He wants Drew for round 2 because he's still standing, and there is still blood in his veins. But out comes Seth Rollins, wearing all black, and coming out in his cowboy best gimmick. I don't know if he was trying to mimic Shawn Michaels or if he was trying to mimic the Hangman. But Seth throws the check. He gets on the mic. Seth says Punk is in a good mood. Well, so is he. After 10 long years, it's finally time for him to put Punk in the dirt. Punk says he ain't the one that dressed like a cowboy today. But it would be his Huckleberry, and it looked like we were about to get a match. Before we hear Drew McIntyre up in the crowd, he stops him with the mic, asks what's with all the negativity. Tonight we celebrate. Drew says he earned Punk's ear. He's going to say nice things. Talk about Punk. He proved that he still got it, but he's no longer the best in the world because Drew is. Drew kind of gets annoyed at the fact that neither of these guys are looking at him, and then Drew baits Punk by talking about the bracelet. And Punk abandons the ring and chases Drew up. Runs up the steps to go find Drew and ran through the crowd out through the auditorium after Drew. And as everybody was wondering where Seth was going, out of bloody freaking nowhere, Bronson Reed comes in and smashes Seth, hits a huge Death Valley driver, a senton, another senton, drags Seth into the corner, hits a tsunami. Not one, no, he went up for 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. I believe he hit 6 tsunamis on this man, leaving Seth in the ring with all the staff and the agents and everybody except Adam Pearce seemed to be missing. Michael Cole kept wondering where Adam Pearce wondered it was. But he smashed Seth. Seth was coughing up blood in the middle of the ring as Bronson Reed was walking away, and Bronson Reed just elevated his stock in this attack. Finally, the viciousness that we should be seeing from this type of guy was shown tonight. He flattened Seth Rollins. I don't know if this means Seth Rollins is going to go out on injury for a little while, if we're going to see him go away for a bit, which might be the right thing to, let the CM Punk Drew match continue without, worrying about what do you do with Seth. If you write Seth off the TV and give him some vacation time, let him go home and spend time with his wife and daughter, I'm all happy for that. You take Seth out of the picture for a little bit. Maybe Seth's done for the year. I don't know. There's a balance in that. Maybe he comes back around, Bad Blood to get a match with Bronson Reed. Maybe he doesn't show up until the Royal Rumble, where he tries to thwart CM Punk's chances at winning the Rumble. Maybe he gets stopped by Bronson Reed. Great stories that can be told here, but I feel like Seth is going to go away for a little bit. I know some people ain't going to like that. But it was an amazing opportunity here. And again, we made Damian Priest look like $1 million and finally elevated him to a level where I feel like he deserves and should be. And we got Bronson Reed on a new level of, I won't say he's main event level, but he's definitely on a level of being a monster that's finally feeling like he could be a threat. I mean, there's a vicious side that we were kind of like, okay, he needs to come out of this space. So he's definitely came up to the next level.
I'm just wondering, though, did it really need 6 tsunamis? I mean, when the earthquake was taking out Hogan, it was like, what, 2 or 3, sit-downs? This guy's coming from the top rope and squashing dudes. Did we really need 6 to get the
But-
point across?
I think you needed to for it being Seth Rollins. That it was a clear cut that Seth is out. Like after 6 of those, coughing up blood, he's definitely out. So I think you can say in some cases it might have felt like overkill, but in the same time, you guys really have to look at Seth and the level he's at. Kind of go, yeah, I can see why it might take 6 to put him out for a while. Like I think this is how we write him off of TV. And definitely made
He
him.
might have some broken ribs. We don't know.
Oh yeah, well, and I think that's the storyline we're gonna have to see. But I mean, it needed to be at that severe level to really solidify. Reed is like, oh crap, who is Bronson Reed now? He just took out our boy Seth. Nobody's gonna be singing Seth's song for a while, and I think it needed to be a significant number. It needed to be more than 1 or 2. With 6 overkill, it's a dime a dozen. You can debate it either way, but at the end of the day, I think it made the point, made Bronson Reed look like a monster, and gives us a reason to understand that Seth Rollins may not be on TV. What's up, the Samoan Watchman? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party, the Samoan Watchman. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are talking about Raw, and we are just talking about the Seth Rollins Bronson Reed attack. But I mean, Bronson Reed feels important now. I'm happy for that. There's still one guy they got to fix.
It also depends on the follow-up now.
Well, I hope they die. I hope they set this up to have the proper follow-up, or it would be like, why?
Exactly.
So don't Tony Khan this. I know. Okay, let's not jinx it. Anyways, it's the New Day versus the Authors of Pain. This was a good, solid back and forth match until a man that had been on the main roster since the draft in April, but that nobody ever heard of, the big bad man, Odyssey Jones, makes his name. Bronson Reed by Bro. Let's see, I gotta read these chats in by the Samoan Watchman. Bronson Reed by Bro needed this. Yes, happy for him.
I think you meant my bro.
My bro, yeah. Happy for him. They couldn't squeeze him in with all those other stories going on. No, I think they were trying to do something with him, but it was finding the right time, and I think the right time was now. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him going forward. It was an awesome moment. But the New Day and the Authors of Pain have a match. It was a decent match. It looked like the Authors of Pain were going to win until Odyssey Jones comes out of nowhere, attacks Karrion Kross, then pretty much squashes both AOP at the same time. He grabs them both for side slams at the same time. And it looks like Odyssey Jones is going to be the newest member of New Day. Is he going to replace Big E? Is this direction? They finally got a third, so now we see. But I give credit. They made Odyssey Jones look like a bad mamma jamma coming out for his first appearance on the main roster. The only thing is, can we quit killing Final Testament? Because they feel like the Last Testament is about to be given. And I'm like, I love Karrion Kross. I know there's a lot there that can go. And just like, I don't know what they're waiting for to pull the trigger. And now that they had Odyssey Jones come and pick up both AOP at the same time, which is impressive. And he's a big mother trucker. I guess he picked up like 800 pounds in the Performance Center. Yes. But I'm like, do we really got to do it at the cost of AOP? They look like idiots getting squashed so easily. It's just like, I don't mind you making Odyssey Jones, but it's like, can we make the Final Testament feel like something of a threat?
We know Karrion Kross has got more in the tank that he could be booked better. Just looking back at his work in TNA as Killer Kross, it's under Triple H's booking, so I don't know what's going on at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping something. I thought when they went over to the Raw, it was going to change the directions of that. But, yeah. I love to see them survive. AOP has paid their dues, man. Yes, they definitely have. They need to get a push. I mean, that whole Final Testament needs to blow up to a new level. Anyways, in shocking news, A-Town Down Under and Awesome Truth were both on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if we've had some trades and switches or what's going on, but we get all 4 men attacking one another. Then the Awesome Truth clears the ring. We come back to Miz sitting in the upper hand in it all. Going for the finish, Miz kicks to midsection again to the ribs, kicks in the corner to Austin, clotheslines to the corner. Truth gets attacked, crossbody for Miz. Truth is the legal men though, so no pin. In comes Grayson. AA to Waller from Truth. He turns Siri for the finisher. A-Town Down Under, cover 1, 2, 3, and A-Town Down Under in 7 minutes 26 seconds. Pick up a big win here. After the match, the Miz kind of seems reluctant. Eventually gets in the ring. Kind of celebrates with R-Truth. I kept waiting for the Miz to turn on R-Truth because I'm like, no. Especially after the wonderful Miz documentary on A&E. If you go watch his documentary, I think you actually can find some love and respect for the Miz and everything he has done. I was like, no, let's not turn him yet. Let's let Miz be where he is. But we didn't get that, so thank God. But A-Town Down Under getting a win here. And so we'll have to see where that goes.
Basically, we just got a battle of the former champions.
Yeah. Anyways, Kathy is backstage and gets an interview with the new Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, who talks a lot of talk about how great he is and how anybody's stupid to come up against him. And to me, his promo was mid. I didn't feel like he's a threat. I felt like, I don't know. It felt like a Steiner promo, and the Steiners were never good at promos. I mean, this is probably better than Rick Steiner and his promos with Chucky the Doll and WCW.
You're right. Their opponent... When the Steiner brothers had a promo, it was usually their opponents that had to carry them a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's just...
Like, if you stuck it too short and sweet, they were all right, but I agree with you.
Braun Breaker was just... He was trying to make, everybody's going to be afraid of me. I'm going to carry this title forever. My name's right there on it. And you're just like, this really kind of cringy. You're just... where is the good managers? And I don't want Paul Heyman with Braun Breaker. I understand why a lot of people, and it might be good, but I'm like, it doesn't make sense right now. You really have to finish up a lot of other loopholes before you can put Paul Heyman with Braun Breaker. So there's a lot there that would have to be done for that to even happen. For one, at least we didn't get math promo. Okay, we didn't get Steiner math. I know, let's not go down that river either. But I'm like, if there was ever a time, I mean, Braun Breaker might, this is one time I kind of look at AEW, but there's a couple things they do right. They do have some of these managers. If they're perfect all the time, no. But, Don Callis type of manager for Braun Breaker would be great. Can they make the big man look good? I hope so, but I'm just like, no, you don't feel like the threat. I don't know why in NXT he was this huge deal, and of course he's talked about it's only taken me 3 years to become Intercontinental Champion, and I'm just like, it's not heel heat, like I dislike him because he's good at being a heel. It's just like, nah, just not.
Just don't care.
Yeah, you're not a threat. You don't feel legitimate. There's just like this big piece to him missing, and I don't know. Stan Brown, Baker, yeah. I'm not a believer. Yeah, we're not believers in him either. I know Mr. Clarke was a big believer when he first came up and was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Loved him in NXT, but here it's just like...
Yeah, I'm not understanding why it's not translating from NXT to the main roster. It's the same character. It's not like he didn't get a new name, he didn't get a new character. So I'm not understanding why it's not translating over, but... For whatever reason, it's not.
He's missing this huge piece, and I think, maybe a good manager, but I don't know who you can have that would be. You know what he needs? If Trish Stratus wants to make a comeback, why doesn't Trish help get Braun Breaker over? I mean, she ran with TNA, Tess and Albert.
Tess and Albert.
There might be a capability of something there. If she wants to come back and do something. I don't know. He needs some type of manager. And maybe he could use a valet, but it's got to be the right valet that can speak and talk, and I can't think of anybody right now that would fit with him. He needs somebody. He's just missing something, and I don't know what it is. I mean, again, I think he should go on a Goldberg-esque run. And his intensity's not even there. He's supposed to be this big, intense guy, and it doesn't come across in his matches. He's not impressive to me. It just misses it. And I'm like, why are they not treating him like a Goldberg where he's just running through people? He should have been running through jobbers and then got to the Intercontinental Champion, ran over Sami Zayn. Sami would have recovered. He would have been fine if he would have been built right.
Unless you're into necromancy, that's kind of hard.
We talked about Sherry Martel because, yeah, she is no longer with us. I don't know anybody out there. I mean, I don't know who would really help get Braun Breaker out. WWE, hey, go get Scott D'Amore. Don't let him open a company. Sign Scott D'Amore. Let Scott D'Amore be his manager and help write. That's what Braun Breaker needs, is somebody that can help write his story. As much as Roman and Paul Heyman are telling their story, let's get Scott D'Amore in to help get Braun Breaker over, and then he could help write.
Dr. Moore still has a no-compete clause until sometime next year.
Yeah. Okay, somebody who's back there. How about what if they pulled out Robert Roode? What if Robert Roode became his manager? Robert Roode needs to come back as glorious Robert Roode, but almost with a, not the robe fancy glorious, but almost in the $1 Million Man-esque gimmick. We need billionaire.
Yeah, I mean,
we need,
when he was in TNA, when he would wear those suits.
yes, when he was the money man.
Yeah, I can see that.
But, right before Beer Money, when he was the money guy, whatever he was. If he came back, he could be glorious Robert Roode, but as like a $1 Million Man, lots of money, he's buying these guys, and built a stable. That's what Braun Breaker needs. He needs a stable.
Yes, I agree with that. I like that idea.
Triple H, it's time for the next version of the Four Horsemen, Evolution. Braun Breaker, and you need to find a good, strong heel, maybe a veteran that can carry the group, but then you would make Braun Breaker kind of like the Randy Orton. That's what Braun Breaker needs. He needs somebody that can, yes, a stable. I don't know who, but yeah, let's create a stable with Braun Breaker in it. That's how you're going to get him eventually over. You're going to be able to hide his shortcomings. Selena Vega, she's baby pacing with the LWO, so I mean, I don't know. She might be okay, but it would take a transition. I don't know if it's something people can break into. But I think the right stable. You know what? What if you put Braun Breaker with A-Town Down Under and found a major, strong veteran heel? I don't know who that heel would be for that group. Maybe give Robert Roode the managerial place.
You'd have to do a slow burn story.
Yes.
But I would almost want to put Andrade in that position to eventually become heel and lead that stable.
See, this is what you need. You need to do Money Man, Robert Roode, whatever he was. Have him come out and start scouting talent like a Braun Breaker, like A-Town Down Under, like Andrade. All these guys start talking to them in their ear, and then bring them together as this monster heel stable. With Braun Breaker, if you put Braun Breaker in that enforcer role and let him be a true enforcer, he'd be great. And then you could have A-Town Down Under. I think it would help elevate both of them in that type of group too, to a new level. And you could get them a little bit away from the comedy. I know they're good at the comedy; it's fun and entertaining, but maybe a little more seriousness into that. I think you could get something there. Why not Scott Steiner?
Because the man cannot talk.
Because Scott Steiner's no better than Braun Breaker on a promo, and neither is Rick Steiner. I mean,
and Scott Steiner can't move no more. He's just too old.
Yeah.
Not to be rude, but
yeah, no, I would get if you brought Daddy or Uncle Steiner into the picture, but I'm just like, I don't think they add enough, or they're not strong enough on the mic. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know who else you would put in there. Anyways, Monday Night Raw, Damian Priest and JD McDonough went 1-on-1. This was an interesting match. JD flying with a broken arrow. Priest to the outside. He runs and launches JD over onto the announce table. Priest rolls him back in. JD stands slow. He hits the ropes and hits a huge clothesline. Huge kick or high kick to Carlito. Priest drops traps. South to heaven, no. Finn comes in and attacks him from behind. Another DQ match. We got a lot of DQs tonight, but I think that's a lot of story progression and reset. Tonight was a lot about resetting and getting things going. We at least got the title match for Bash in Berlin, but we're getting a lot of things of what's going to be the future of everything here. But Finn Balor comes in and attacks Priest. Dominic Mysterio comes down. Carlito, JD, and Liv Morgan's out here. They all into the ring. They start beating down Priest. Priest eventually breaks free and starts dominating. He chases Finn away. In comes JD McDonough to attack Priest again. He beats down Priest. In eventually comes in Dom. Dom and Liv trying to take out Priest before. This is my brutality. Yep. Rhea Ripley finally showed up. She came down to even out the odds, chased Dom and Liv away. And the Tower of Terror, the Twin Terrors, stand tall in the ring as Rhea and Damian Priest at the end of the match hug. JD winds up getting attacked with a headbutt from Rhea into a South of Heaven and left flattened on the mat. Carlito scoops him up and takes him away. I don't know if this is the best thing I wanted to see. I wanted to see the new Judgment Day feel a little bigger and better. I don't think Goldberg can become a stable manager, but give me 1 minute. Let me finish this up. And there's a lot to talk about there. I kind of wanted to see Judgment Day shine a little better since they're a new stable and feel a new level of serious with Finn Balor taking over. Hopefully this is just the start and we'll get to see what they're going to do. Now, as far as Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, the visualization of that I don't even think works to feel like anything but a squash match. It's like, as much as it makes sense in the story to see a mixed tag match, you're just like, the Twin Towers against the other members of that ex-love triangle. I don't know if you have any viability that you can sell without super shenanigans for Dominic and Liv to even win that type of matchup. We'll talk about this in Samoan Watchman. We'll get to your Goldberg comment here in just a second. But yeah, Mr. Clarke on this match here.
The match itself, Damian Priest and JD McDonough, I felt like we finally got to see the Irish Ace again. The JD McDonough we got to see in NXT UK, where he was a little more serious. We got to get some offense in, got to get some intensity in.
Yes.
And even the promo earlier.
The promo was good,
where we got to see him a little more serious. So it's like, this is the JD McDonough I've been waiting for. Like we've seen him before, like I said, in NXT UK, a little bit in NXT. Finally.
Mr. Z.
Now, I expected Damian Priest.
Yeah.
I expected Damian Priest to either go over, or in this case, we got a DQ, but, it's like, the story progressed the way it was supposed to. So I'm fine with that.
Mr. Z,
but like I said, the match itself just seemed JD.
Yeah. Shine. Mr. Z, I think you're jumping the gun there. We haven't even had a match between Finn and Damian to say at Bad Blood we're going to get a Hell in a Cell match. Now, we already booked the Hell in a Cell match. That makes the most sense for Bad Blood, and that's Punk and Drew. Now, Damian Priest and Balor, could they get to a Hell in a Cell match? Probably, but I don't think that'll be at Bad Blood. Now, they may face off at Bad Blood, and it may be an Extreme Rules match, maybe a no disqualification match. It might be a Judgment Day rules match, whatever they want to call it, but I don't think we're going to get 2 Hell in a Cells. Now,
yeah, if it's not male and female, yeah, we're not going to get 2 Hell in Cells.
No, and I think we it's too early for them to get in there. How about Nick Aldis? What about Nick Aldis, Underwood? And while we're waiting for that response from Underwood, the Goldberg became a stable manager. Goldberg wouldn't be a good stable manager. He's not a good talker on the mic. And Goldberg isn't going to come back into wrestling unless he's going to use his retirement match because he just wants to retire. And he ain't going to do anything that's heel because he does it for the kids, basically. So he wants the kids to cheer him. So for him to be a stable manager for like a Braun Breaker, it's not going to happen. Now, if Goldberg wanted to come back and have a retirement match, I think Braun Breaker should be the guy that puts him down and retires him. But again, you've got to build Braun Breaker in a way where he's a credible threat to Bill Goldberg. The only thing I can say maybe you bring Brock Lesnar in and let Braun Breaker take down Brock Lesnar. Maybe if you really want to twist it, you figure out how you can sell Braun Breaker to take Brock Lesnar down faster than Goldberg took Brock Lesnar down. That way you have a reason to pull Goldberg into the scenario even. But, Nick Aldis as the leader of that group. Nick Aldis could be a good piece to that. Nick Aldis would be a great, not as a manager, but if he got back into in-ring action, was allowed to wrestle, if he was there standing with Braun Breaker and A-Town Down Under. You have a good point. Nick Aldis would be a good point. Would be a good piece there if he's wrestling. As a manager, I think I'm happy where he is as a general manager, but as a manager of a stable,
So what you're saying is you would have Aldis as a player coach role,
Oh, yeah.
where he's both wrestling and kind of being a mouthpiece.
Nick Aldis, I would say, would be your Ric Flair of that group.
We're talking the Horsemen, yes. We're talking Evolution, would be Triple H. The Triple H role, I mean.
Yes. Triple H was just playing the Ric Flair role at that time. I mean, it's just Ric Flair is always that main role to me because the Horsemen always came first. Any copy, you know. Anyways, we go backstage where we see Ilya Dragunov talking to Sami Zayn, trying to hype him up. Over comes Shay. Him and Jay have their back and forth. Jay gets him hyped up, and we find out Sami's already got a rematch next week on Raw. And he's going to win that Intercontinental title back, and then he's going to team up with Jay and go after Judgment Day to become a double champion. I don't think Sami Zayn's winning the title next week, but we'll see how that all plays out. Anyway, it's time for the main event of the evening. Out comes, we have Chad Gable with the Creed brothers walking in the backstage area. And they have announced and made their name. And all I can think of is, why didn't the theme song come out and play? We're American made. Yes, no, they are American made. And I'm like, that's where we went
the
with
old
this.
Hogan WCW theme.
Yeah, I was like, that's where we went with this. I'm like, I get it, but I don't necessarily like that we went that easy.
I don't like the name, but I do like the fact that they all look in uniform.
Yes, they were all.
They all look okay. You could tell they're stable for sure. Thank you.
Yes. So we have American Made in the ring. They are out here, looking like a solidified team, ready to fight. And out comes the Wyatt Six. They come down. There's a rocking chair in the entranceway. We already know the 11 years since the debut of the Wyatt family. They come out. Uncle Howdy's here. Sister Abigail, as she was proclaimed, was out here. The lantern. Sister Abigail sat at the feet of Uncle Howdy as he sat in the rocking chair. As Luke Harper, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Lumis got in the ring, took out their mask, and we got a decently solid match. Both teams look definitely decent in this. But in the end, a tag from Gacy, tag to Lumis. We get a double team powerbomb of Lumis on the Gable. Then Lumis dives off the top rope with a fog splash for a pin. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, looking like $1 million throughout this. Even gave homage to Luke Harper in the match, going I, which was great. And then gave kisses to his boys in heaven. This match was great. The Creed brothers definitely didn't just get buried in this. They fought to the best of their ability, but they got torn apart by these ravaged monsters. Chad Gable got part of his comeuppance. This match went 11 minutes, 4 seconds. And we saw the White Sick standing tall at the end of the show. I don't think there's much to complain about. We got to see him in the ring. Dexter Lumis looks scarier than ever. I don't know why. He just looks more insane. You're just like, yeah, I don't really want to meet him in a dark alley. Joe Gacy is definitely a great
Charles
piece.
Manson, what?
Well, it's Rob Zombie-esque, for a lot of people pointing out. But Joe Gacy, definitely a good piece to that. I think it's going to take a little more time for Joe Gacy to shine. He did get his vignette tonight where they were claiming he thinks he's Huskus the Pig Boy. So I have to wait and see how that story develops. But I definitely have to say Dexter Lumis looked like $1 million. Like, he just looks like a savage. Like, Joe Gacy, I still got to see where he fits in. He kind of felt like the outside piece a little bit. Eric Rowan looked like $1 million, did everything he's always done. A lot of great triple and double team moves that worked out here. Uncle Howdy the whole time laughing and giggling in the rocking chair as he watched. Then they climbed in the ring and they celebrated as the lights went off. I think we're on the right track with what we're going to get from the Wyatt Sick. Curtis Axel.
Joe Gacy can talk.
Okay. Go ahead before I go over the chat, because Tasty Toast decided to show up. And then
Yes, I know.
Matthew wants to
Joe
talk
Gacy
about...
can't talk, but I think in the role he's in presently, he's going to be more of the workhorse character. He's not going to really say much. It's just he's going to wrestle,
Yeah.
I think, in this role.
I don't think any of them are going to talk other than Uncle Howdy. I think he is going to be the mouthpiece for these
Well, I mean, the fact that they gave him nothing for in his vignette.
Yeah.
And my only nitpick is, I know with Nikki Cross, they're trying to go with the sister Abigail, Abby the Witch, same character, different name. But I'm like, I will always see her as Nikki Cross. Whether she's wearing a mask, whether she's got face paint, it don't matter.
But we still haven't seen the full development of her. So we'll have to see when she gets tangled up in the ring. And where does this leave Alexa Bliss? We're still waiting for what role she'll play in all this.
I think also, though, what continues to replay in my mind is when Bray Wyatt himself... Oh, because you said, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I said the name.
When Bray Wyatt himself played Sister Abigail in that match that he had, years ago, it's like trying to have Nikki Cross now play the character. Just like, I mean, if you want to play it, if you want to explain it through possession, I guess, but they haven't really explained it.
Well, that's the thing. They haven't explained it. We got to give it time to develop. They're slowly developing the things that are important. Like, we haven't completely, we've developed a lot with Uncle Howdy, but we haven't seen him wrestle. And we don't know if he's going to wrestle as Bo Dallas or if he's going to wrestle as Uncle Howdy or what evolution it is, because we've seen both characters at points.
The gist I've kind of gotten out of that from what they've shown us so far is that those names are going to be interchangeable.
No, I know, but that means we can see
now
Bo
what he
Dallas.
wrestles as, like you said, we'll see. But
this is going to be like Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. Bray Wyatt wrestled as Funhouse Bray and then wrestled as the Fiend, depending on the situation.
I believe so.
So what are we going to get there, and what does that mean for Nikki Cross, and where does Alexa Bliss get into all this thing? It's going to be interesting. Things are getting better. But to the chat, Matthew Underwood, Curtis Axel for the Wyatt Sick. I don't know if there's any need there. I don't even know where Curtis Axel is this day and age. I don't even know if he's still wrestling anywhere.
He's retired, if I recall right.
So I
think he's like a real estate agent or something. I think
he's doing it. Well, we know that James Storm, the Cowboy, is a real estate agent. So if you need some housing in, I believe, Middle Tennessee, you can always check out James Storm doing it up. Tasty Toes, Mother Trucking, knock knock, woody woot, what? Miguel Z, Mr. Z, why? Why do you want Scotty Riggs and Marcus Bagwell like American males? I mean, where? Huh? Seriously? What is your obsession with the Bagwells? That's my question, because you always talk about Judy Bagwell in a forklift match, and now you're talking about the American males, which had Marcus Bagwell. You have an obsession, sir, with the Bagwells, don't you? Don't you?
Just like AJ Francis has the Cheez-It Championship, I think we need to make Miguel sometime down the line the Tasty Toes Championship.
There we go. You know what we need? We need somebody to design us a bag of treats that has Miguel's face in a cartoon and it says Tasty Toes, and then we need to have a shirt that has that bag of a cartoon version of Miguel on a shirt with a bag of Tasty Toes with his face on it, where he's popping Tasty Toes, and it can say, Tasty Toes, taste your toes, or something on it. So at least it brands us and has something to do with us.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, if we're going to sell shirts, we need at least shirts that have something to do with us. Because it wouldn't be a Value Wrestling show without a Tasty Toes ad. Yes, you always want to find a way to make yourself the Tasty Toes man of the hour, the man with the power, the man with all the treats in his mouth. If he puts his foot in, crazy. I don't even know what to say anymore. Anyways, that is your Monday Night Raw
Monday Night
show.
Raw.
Yeah, no, good solid show. Felt very important. Everything flowed very well. Lots of stories, bringing together You're an idiot. Anywho, we got to see Rhea and Damian Priest connect together. We got to see the moving forward of the new Judgment Day, like I thought we'd see. And yeah, I'd have to agree with somebody saying this might have been one of the best weekly shows that Triple H has been up and put on, an unbelievable 3-hour show that didn't really feel like 3 hours for once. You know, sometimes you get into these 3-hour shows and you feel it after it's done that you're like,
kind of helped to not have the first hour being commercial free.
well, the first hour was commercial free.
That's what I just said. That's what helped, I think, in my opinion.
Oh. So there is all of that. And Mr. Z died because CM Punk, he throws up, I'll be your Huckleberry, throwing back to Tombstone with Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday. If you know the movie and know the scene, then you get it. Anywho, Liv Morgan almost putting Rhea Ripley almost putting Liv Morgan through the table with a razor's edge herself tonight. Dum Dum saved the day.
I'm surprised we didn't get a bunch of AEW tribalists saying, "Oh my God, they took shots at Hangman Page," especially with Seth Rollins wearing that cowboy-looking gimmick.
Well, and I believe the
tassels
Huckleberry,
and all that.
I believe the Huckleberry thing has been said in AEW to Hangman Page too. I don't know if I think CM Punk may have said it to him too. Adam Pearce, okay, so somebody named Sonia Bolin said, Scrap Daddy said, thank you for watching our television show. And they replied, I don't know if Seth Rollins coughing up blood was real or not, but it looked really bad. Why didn't you try to stop it? I've watched for over 30 years, but that attack was too much, and I probably won't be watching again. You're going to quit watching over that. You haven't been watching for 30 years. That's for damn sure. If that is the worst attack you think you've ever seen, did you not watch the NWO? But it's 30 years from now, right now. Okay, that would have put us in like 94. So yeah, you would have been watching wrestling for the NWO. Like they didn't have the worst attacks, and some of them. I mean, what? You thought that was the worst attack you've ever seen?
Well, does you mean worse as in worse in the sense of vicious, or worse in the sense of like bad acting?
Well, I don't know where you get bad acting. I thought it was good acting. Now, of course, the blood capsule kind of got caught in the scene. It looked like Seth Rollins put over his mouth. You kind of saw it coming, but I mean, it is what it is. But I don't think that was like, oh, that was so bad I'm never watching wrestling again. Cry me a river.
Everyone says they're going to rage quit at any given point, so that means nothing to me.
Exactly. Somebody named John Draper got blocked by FTR, or Dax of FTR. Mr. Z, you haven't been blocked by Dax, have you? Better get on that.
Ha!
Anywho, tomorrow, over on Patreon, you can find the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast. You can go over there and learn all about New Japan Pro Wrestling, everything going on. It'll be on the YouTube on Wednesdays. But to get it a day early, go over and sign up for the free Patreon. There's a lot of news articles, a lot of stuff coming out. And, of course, there's the catching up with that'll be coming out at some point where you can catch up with Ring of Honor, TNA, NWA Power, and NXT. And that'll all be on the Patreon. So you got to sign up for that. We're telling you to sign up for it because it's free. Free $99. What's better than free? I don't know. You tell me. Go join the Patreon for free while it's free before it becomes a charged monthly subscription for the really great stuff. It's going to be hidden behind a paywall because, hey, that's the future. That's direction. Anyways, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the Value Wrestling. Join the Value Wrestling family while you're on the ground floor. Because we're making moves, we're making big, big moves, and we're shocking the world in the IWC. We are going to be number one. We are going to get a play button. We are going to be the most talked about podcasters on this platform. You can believe that. We're going to be on the level with them all. And, yeah. Am I talking big game? Oh, you better believe it. And if you want to be chaos, my best theory to you is just bring it.
Learn how to spell, first of all. Jeez.
Not everybody's perfect at spelling.
And Parker
Nazi.
Curry, I think we all like. Yes, I am a grammar Nazi. I think we all like Scott Hall and respect what he did. Whether you're talking about Razor Ramon, whether you're talking about WCW, before and after his WWE run.
Yes, Scott Hall was a legend. I'm glad he got inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame before we lost him. It was a tragic loss, but somebody posted something on, I think it was on Facebook on one of the groups we frequent, that was like, what was the most shocking wrestling death? And I'm like, there's too many of them. I mean, if we sat here, I mean, all of them at different times for that time were shocking. I mean, Pillman, Guerrero, the Macho Man, even Warrior. Whether you're a big fan of Warrior, after seeing Warrior return home and get his proper flowers and recognition, and then to lose him just days after all that, it was hit home.
I was going to say Kurt Hennig. Rick
Rude. I mean, just the names that you can go down that you're just like, what? Canyon in his own way. Mike Awesome's story. Bigelow. I mean, all of these guys. Brian Lawler. I mean, it was a tragic story in itself that's shocking. We all know Bray Wyatt. Even Terry Funk. The fact that Terry Funk passed away was still a shocker, and then right after that we had Bray Wyatt. I mean, you can't put one above another. It's always crazy. Eddie, yes,
absolutely, Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie. Dominic's getting there. He could be a very good second coming. We just got to let it happen. But anyways, tomorrow Patreon, New Japan Rebound Podcast will be on the air on Wednesday. Go ahead.
Yes, Lex Luger is still alive.
Yes, Luger's still alive. There's a lot of talk and chatter that and there's a push, and he's pushing for it to get into the WWE Hall of Fame. My stance is no. I don't think WCW did some stuff, but what did he really bring to the business? There's not a lot. I look at Luger and go, he added a lot to the business. Will he get his Hall of Fame? I'm sure he will. I would like to see him come into the business and do something, not in a wrestling capacity. Maybe it's a manager or role, because I think he's out of the wheelchair now. I think he's able to walk again. I don't know. I understand the Mandela effect. Yes, a definitely interesting thing. But yeah, I'm not a big supporter of Luger. I still hold Luger accountable for his actions with Miss Elizabeth. And his attitudes towards wrestling at times, and statements he's made, that I have a hard time, just looking over that.
Reconciling?
Yeah. I haven't seen him come out really and make any reconciliation for those things. I haven't heard him come out and go, you know what? I said a lot of dumb things, or these things happen. And I know he has regretted the situation with Miss Elizabeth, and I get that, but I'm still like, that's one. And then his talk about, he didn't really get into wrestling to be a wrestler, he was just using it for other things. And, I don't know. Was he a world champion? Yes. Was he a great wrestler? No, he was just a big muscle boy. What did he add to the wrestling universe? It was Kurt Hennig, yes. Kurt Axel was his son, Joe Hennig.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just some names.
What about Joe?
There's still just some names that I don't think deserve the WWE Hall of Fame. Luger's on the top of it, not.
So wait a minute. Would you say that Kurt Axel deserves to be in the Hall of Fame before Lex Luger?
Well, yeah. Definitely. If anybody, I mean, the Hardy Boys need to get into the Hall of Fame. That's what I think should be next. I think the Hardy Boys and AJ Lee should be at the top of the WWE Hall of Fame class for next year.
Okay, I got one that may or may not stump you.
Who?
So let's say Lex Luger or Ryback.
Oh, neither deserve to be in there. Ryback shouldn't ever be.
Now you're thinking along my lines, but
Ryback doesn't deserve to be anywhere near a wrestling ring. That's just facts. The only time he should be around a wrestling ring is if our buddy Psycho Sid Vicious is putting him through tables.
Is power bombing them through it?
Tables. No, tables. Repeated tables, not just like table stacked. I mean table after table after table.
Damn.
I'd rather see Tony Khan get inducted.
JYD was cool.
I'd rather see Tony Khan get inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame over Ryback.
Woo!
And you know what? I'll say this. Dixie Carter deserves a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame over both of them. So there's that. You never know what's going to happen on this show. This is always a fun show. Is King Haku in the Hall of Fame? I don't know if Haku's in the Hall of Fame. Haku. I do not know if if he's not, then he should be getting inducted this year. That is for sure. He is definitely somebody that should be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, between his WWE career and his WCW one, shit. Hell yeah. Let alone what he's done in New Japan.
Oh, yeah. And well, what his boys and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess I got to go up to superstars. You want, why do you guys got to open so much crap? In NXT, I want, Hall of Fame. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Harlem Heat, Harley Race, Haystacks, Calhoun, High Chief, Minor Villa, Hillbilly Jim, Hiro Matsudo, Howard Finkel. Let's just make sure it's not under King Haku. Kid Rock, Killer Kowalski. No, Haku is not.
No, he is not.
In the WWE Hall
He's
of Fame.
been talked about, he's been rumored, but he's not actually in the Hall of Fame.
The question would be this, is if they induct Haku, it would be great, but what about Umaga? Umaga. I mean, yeah, no, Haku needs to be in there if he's gonna. I mean, they've got all those boys in there, and with Hikuleo soon to come, it should be great. Alrighty, well, I love people who put up stuff for WrestleMania 41. I could possibly say Jade Cargill against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 41. Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton. That makes sense. The Usos versus Solo and Jacob Fatu, maybe. Are the Road Warriors in the Hall of Fame? Yes, I believe the Road Warriors are in the Hall of Fame. I believe they went in with Paul Ellering. Now they may not have gone as the Road Warriors, but they would have gone in as the Legion of Doom. What a rush! Oh yeah, Haku
I believe they were.
Yeah, they went in with Paul Ellering.
As far as the Road Warriors 2011.
Yeah. They're definitely in the WWE Hall of Fame. Anyways, they have the Usos versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I don't know. John Cena versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. If they build Braun Breaker right, maybe. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. It would depend. The only thing I disagree with that is because they have Gunther versus Brock Lesnar for the world title and Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. And I think everybody needs to put that to bed. Cody and Randy are not going to tie it up. Not right now. I don't know if you're going to turn Randy Orton heel. He's doing so much things and so much fun. That's big. Benoit will never make it into the WWE Hall of Fame.
No.
For political reasons.
No matter who owns the company. Doesn't matter. Yeah, no.
He's never going to make it, whether you like him or not. Whether you can overlook what happened, the WWE is never going to allow that to happen. It's a bad move.
Mm-hmm.
That'll never happen. Yeah, Haku. The stories with Haku are crazy. Always fun to hear about a Haku story. The most vicious man in wrestling, just the guy you don't want to cross. Um,
And yet, by the same token, also one of the nicest men.
yes. Oh yeah.
Like,
If you
which
don't piss
person
him
are you
off,
going to meet?
don't piss him off. That's all you have to do. Don't piss him off. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Value of Wrestling Monday Night Raw post show review. We thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. We thank everybody for coming. We hope you keep coming because the more you all come and join us on these lives, the more interactive it gets, the more we're going to grow and get more people to join. And that's the important part. Is Chris Jericho in the Hall of Fame? No, Chris Jericho is not in the Hall of Fame. Will he ever get in the Hall of Fame will be very interesting. I believe he deserves a place in the WWE Hall of Fame, but we're going to have to see what he does. He seems to be pretty much an AEW lifer. So I don't know if he'll ever get out of AEW for him to do that, and it depends on if AEW and WWE mend their fences. Yes, no, I know that. I lived in an apartment in Vegas, and downstairs I had the best neighbors. They were Samoan, awesome, most awesome people. They were friendly. We lived in apartments on the other side of the fence. It was just empty lot and sand, and they went out there during spring and then during the winter, and they'd dig a hole, and then they lay the coals, and they cook a pig out there, and they invite me down. They say, "Come on, brother, come on." The nicest people, but man, don't piss them off. Especially don't piss them off when they've been drinking. So,
Oh, jeez.
yes, and of course, Miguel, you're our buddy over there at Realm of Warriors Championship Wrestling. Is all in the I forget his name, but he's he's very familiar with the family. This is where we met Rikishi and the whole lot over there. So I have mad respect. They're the most friendliest people. They will invite you in. They will take you in as family. They will feed you until you can't eat no more. They will do whatever they can. The culture is amazing. Just don't make them mad. Don't piss them off. Don't betray them, and you're good. So yeah. Anyways, yes, Mr. C, thank you. Thank you everybody for dropping by. Parker Curtis, Samoan Watchman, I believe. Who else is in here? I got a Kayla. Thank you for coming in and talking tonight. That was great. Matthew Underwood, thank you for stopping back by. We always appreciate it. And no, I'm not going to thank the other guy. Who goes away after the show starts for whatever reason. It's Rosie and Rosie and Umaga and Rosie are not in the Hall of Fame. We'll have to see what happens with them if either of them get in. I believe Umaga will probably get in at some point. Haku definitely needs to get in, but again, as much as you want to say Umaga, Haku, and all these names, this year in Vegas, I don't think they'll do them all in one swoop. They'll probably scatter them out. And of course, a lot of people are going to be pushing for Bray Wyatt to go in the Hall of Fame. We know the Hardys are talking with WWE, and a big component of that is Jeff wants to get that Hall of Fame induction. So there's a lot of names. The Hall of Fame class for 2025 for WrestleMania 41 weekend in Las Vegas could be a really big Hall of Fame class. Maybe not in size, but a big name. So I would say the Hardy Boys is your tag team. I would say Bray Wyatt would be your major name. AJ Lee would be the other name in there. I would think it would be time to induct King, or not King. I mean, I know he was King Haku, but I would say Haku would be the right name to put in this year. I guess you could put Umaga because I always put a pro Sooners name in there, but I don't know if they're going to have somebody else. Would Brody Lee be in the Hall of Fame?
What about?
Go ahead.
What if you put 3-minute warning?
Yeah.
As a tag team.
You could. Brody Lee, I would think so at some point, but I think you're probably going to see Bray Wyatt before Brody Lee. So it's going to be some time. But as long as Cody's there, I would believe Brody Lee is, because Brody Jr. is, the only guy that we know right now that works for both companies, it seems like. So, I'm sure that's going to happen.
At least he's able to pop up in both companies.
Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised. At some point, I definitely think Brody Lee will get in. I just don't know. And he may be, I know they did Jake and Scott Hall in the same year, luckily. And Scott Hall, one of the best Hall of Fame ceremony speeches, straight to the point. You know, he didn't give a whole lot, didn't want to say a whole lot, and it was beautiful for him. Dusty Rhodes gave a great speech. Paul Heyman's speech last year was just amazing. I mean, but again, it's Paul Heyman. Anytime Paul Heyman's mouth opens, you sit there and go, it's like Paul Heyman could read the phone book.
Or if you're really smart, taking notes.
Yes. Paul Heyman could read the phone book to everybody, and everybody would probably sit there and bask in the glory of who Paul Heyman is. He would make the phone book interesting, I'm sure. But yeah, I think Brody Lee definitely deserves. I don't know if it'll be Brody Lee. It might most likely be Luke Harper. But yeah.
Under the new regime, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Under the old regime, for sure.
Pig in the dirt. Oh yeah, pig in the dirt. That you don't realize it until you have it, and it's juicy. Oh. Anyways, this is what we want to do with the Value Wrestling. We want to be able to talk about shows and talk with y'all, and then after the shows, you guys want to take over the chat, start asking random things, or making statements, or sharing your opinions. We want to talk about that, and this is what it's exciting with us, or it gets us really excited to seeing you guys interact with us, because it's been a long road to get here. Just yesterday, we got to our 1 year of the weekly roundup, and we're excited for what year 2 is going to bring, and we love to see you guys. So come back with us on Friday night after SmackDown. We'll be doing SmackDown post-show reviews. And if you guys show up and want us to talk about AEW again and get us motivated to watch AEW, then maybe we'll do it again. But right now, we're unmotivated. It's Vader in the Hall of Fame.
I don't believe so.
Don't remember. Let me look it up. Give me 1 second. I want to say no, but then again, it might have been within the last year they actually did it, but I don't know. I think they were talking about it, and then he died, and then they did it. I don't remember. He may be another one that they're waiting.
I was wrong. Big Van Vader, Leon White, is a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. He was posthumously inducted in 2022.
Yes. That's what I thought. It was like right after he died. Like they were trying to do it, and then he died, and then they did it, and it was like, dang it. That sucks. But yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not sure. I have to look at it and make sure I'm thinking about it.
Hey, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I wasn't exactly sure. And I just saw that the Bella Twins. I didn't remember the Bella Twins getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, but okay. But yeah. No, Vader's in there, so that's good. Great name. Yes, this chat has been awesome. It's been wonderful. It's been fun. And this is what we want to see. So join us on Friday after SmackDown. We're going to do this again. And then check out all the other videos that are going to come out this week. Wednesday is going to be a hot day. You're going to have the New Japan Rebound podcast on the YouTube. And then Wednesdays in Mark Them We Trust with Jane. For people, is Canyon in the WWE? No, he's not. Canyon has not been inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. I don't know if he will. If anything, that might take some pushing.
I think the wrestling community will remember him, but I don't know if his career was enough to get into the WWE Hall of Fame.
If anybody would push for that, it may be a Diamond Dallas Page. But I don't know if he... Again, some of that you really have to look at it and go, what did they offer to the community of wrestling? Oh, great. And thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you for showing up to the party. Yes, we know you're a WWE Hall of Famer and President of the United States. You get to hold both those titles that probably nobody else is going to do unless The Rock decides to actually run for president. That may be the only other man. I don't think there's anybody else in the WWE Hall of Fame that would ever make it to the level of president. But thank you, Mr. Trump, for showing up and showing out.
And showing your donkey.
Yes, Mr. President. Andrew, no. And I don't know if he'll ever get in either. Again, part of that is what did he really do in the business that was significant enough to place that. If he ever gets in, it may be one of those like post-humorous where they put a whole bunch of people's names up on the board and go, "Yay!" It'll be like kind of
In
just
memory of.
yeah, in memory of. It'll just flash really quick, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that guy." But yeah. I'd like to see Glenn Jacobs. Yes, Kane one day will be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm sure that will happen.
He already is. The 2021 class.
Oh, that's right. He did get in. Is that the same year as the Taker? Did they do them together? Or was it the year after Taker?
Year after.
Okay.
Undertaker went in 2022.
Kane went in 2023. Okay, yeah. Last year. Not this year, but last year, yeah. Yes. Donald Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame. Undertaker. Yes, Undertaker's in the WWE Hall of Fame. If you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm assuming you're just saying Undertaker because you heard Undertaker's name. Is Mick Foley in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Yes. Has to be, right? Yes, he is. I forget when he went in, though.
Class of 2013.
Yeah. It's been a long time, but he definitely went in. As Mick Foley.
Oh,
He went in as Mick
As all the
Foley.
characters.
They covered it all. Cactus Jack, Mankind, and Dude, no! Did Mick get multiple roles? No, they did that once. There's only a few people they've allowed to have more than one ring. You have two-time Hall of Famer Booker T, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall is a two-time Hall of Famer technically. I think Kevin Nash is only a one-time Hall of Famer. I don't think Kevin Nash as himself or Diesel has gone. No, Diesel did go in. He went the year after Scott Hall.
Diesel and as the Click.
Yeah. Oh, and anybody went in with the NWO, so he's got 3. Did the Click really go in the Hall of Fame? I know DX did, but I don't know if the Click went. Okay, Kevin Nash went in as Kevin Nash. Scott Hall went in as Razor Ramon, and I don't see the Click. But I know he went in with NWO. He's a 2-timer. So I don't think there's a 3-timer yet. A lot of people hold 2 rings, but not 3. And Hunter Helmsley's in the Hall of Fame, but not under his own volition, even though he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should look at my figure up here that Kevin Nash signed. He wrote 2-time Hall of Famer. That is right. Thank you, Mr. Z. Of course, Sting might be the only man that gets inducted to the TNA Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, and the AEW Hall of Fame whenever they decide to do their own. The biggest shocker of the WWE Hall of Fame ever was the Honky Tonk Man, though, because the Honky Tonk Man talked
First
so
of all,
much.
no Owen Hart is not, because Martha Hart would not allow it.
No, yeah. Martha Hart will not allow it. She's maybe now that it's under Triple H's reign, maybe they'll make peace. But I don't know. Right now, she's all over Tony. But Honky Tonk Man is always the one that I laugh at because he talks so much crap about the Hall of Fame, and then he finally gets inducted. Great Muta in the Hall of Fame was good. So I mean, there could be people that never wrestle in WWE that are going to get in.
Like how the Rock and Roll.
The Rock and Roll Express
got in.
did wrestle in WWE. They did wrestle a couple times, not like a full time.
They were under the NWA banner.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was on WWE programming.
But I don't think the Great Muta ever wrestled in WWE.
Not to my memory. WCW, but not WWE to my memory.
His heart won't allow it. Yes. We said that. I wonder if Christian will ever get in the WWE Hall of Fame.
I mean, when you look at his overall career, I feel like he deserves it.
Yes,
But if you just look at the way he was booked in WWE, I'm not so sure.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where he's going to go with AEW. Will the Tampon Bucks ever get into WWE Hall of Fame? That should be the question. That should be the big poll. You know what I won't be surprised with is if Kenny Omega winds up in WWE at some point. Because there's been a lot of chatter with Kenny Omega not real happy with even with the Young Bucks themselves and some of the stuff that's going on. And he's saying a lot of high praises about the current WWE. Of course, if AEW's not careful, they're going to lose all their young talent to WWE, and then they're going to be looking around going, who do we have?
Oh, you mean the new generation 2.0?
I mean, it looks like Ricky Starks is ready to go. Danny Garcia is on his way out, possibly. I mean, there's just so many names. It's just like, these are the guys you need to be investing in and getting over. You're not holding on to them. Kamala. I believe Kamala's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Nope.
No?
I already looked at that. Although there were reports and petitions suggesting his induction, including a 2013 rumor and a 2020 article highlighting his contributions to the WWE, Kamala has not been officially inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Interesting. Does Don Callis get to be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Truth Commission.
And the Jack.
His time in ECW.
It's time in WCW. He was in WCW.
And also as part of when he was representing the network.
Yes. What about Raven? Or Scotty Flamingo?
I feel like he deserves it.
Scotty Flamingo, if we want to go way back. Yeah, that's
I didn't
a
see
great
Raven's time in ECW, but I mean, just his time in WCW, I enjoyed it.
Well, in WWE,
so, I mean, I would put him in personally.
He was in there in WWE too.
And his time in WWE as well.
Scotty Flamingo and all that. And he was the manager for Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
That's another name that needs to be in here too. Adam Bomb. And why isn't his boy in here? Brian Clarke and Brian Adams.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why are they in here? I mean, Crush definitely deserves to be in here.
Chronic.
Anyways, how we doing, people? The Hurricane. What's up with that? Possibly someday. He's still giving a lot of himself to the company. He works in the backstage as a road agent. He hasn't been inducted as of yet, but maybe one day. Or he can just go up to Triple H and go, why am I not in the Hall of Fame? What's up with that?
Raven may not be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he is in the Impact Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Also known as TNA.
Here's what I do want to see. I want to see AJ get in the Impact Hall of Fame, because I believe AJ has not been inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame. I believe they did that after he left. This is one reason I like to see him go back to TNA briefly. But at least he can get that honor and have a little fun down there before he retires. What? What? Shark Boy say what? It's too bad that the Shark wasn't still around when the Shark Boy came to fruition in TNA, because you could have the Shark be the daddy, the Shark Boy, and that would have been entertaining stuff. That would have been entertaining.
I didn't like John Tenta as the Shark.
Well, I didn't either. I didn't like
His
Messi
best role
Avalanche. His best role was this Earthquake.
Yeah, his best role was in the Earthquake.
And he had a decent run there when he was finally John Tenta, when he gave up that stuff, but they never really did much with him or let him really be anymore. But yeah, no, Earthquake, he ran the Earthquake, and they never knew what to do with him in WCW. Edge and Christian duo. Edge is in the Hall of Fame. We'll have to see. Christian's with AEW. They can't really do anything unless AEW agrees again to let something like that happen. They let that happen with Billy Gunn, and then Triple H made the statement that somebody would buy that pissant company and just to fire him again. And Tony didn't really like those comments, so let's see. Anyways,
I don't know about you, but I got a full day coming up, so
yeah, we need to shut this show down. We need to get on the road to the next thing. We thank you all for being here. We appreciate you all, and we will see you on the next one. So tune in Friday, SmackDown post-show review. Please be here. It's going to be a fun time.